Hello and welcome back to Blake's Den and another update on Project Designer. It's been quite a while since I last did a video on this, so I thought that was a good time to give you a bit of an update as to what I've been doing. So I have been busy working on this, just doing little bits here and there. Not really worthy of video content, but here I am. So what have we got there? We've got a reconditioned subframe from ADO Equipment. So check those guys out. I'll put a link below. It's basically like a genuine subframe which has been fully reconditioned and powder coated. So quite happy with that. And the plan is to get that on the car soon. But to do that, I need to refurbish all the bits which attach to the subframe and then finish with the boot floor as well. Talking of refurbishing bits and pieces. So I've gradually been working my way through and painting with black metal paint, different bits off the car. So those are subframe brackets. In there we've got things like the handbrake lever where it goes on the drums and various other little bits and pieces. So yeah, been painting those up, ready to go back on the subframe. So today's video is going to be sorting out these radius arms. So the last video I stripped these all down and now I need to clean them, degrease them, paint them, basically get them ready and get them looking nice and pretty to go back on the car. If you remember, when I took these off the subframe, or prior to taking the subframe off the car actually, I checked for any play in the bushes and there was none whatsoever. If I can find that clip, I will insert that clip now. So before I start stripping this down, I need to check if there's any play in this radius arm. So I did it when it was on the car and it felt fine. And it certainly feels fine now. It's quite hard to tell because I've got it on these little dollies at the moment, the whole subframe. But it doesn't feel like there's any play in it. If the sort of radius arms haven't been greased, they do wear out and then you get slop on them and then they need to be rebuilt. And yeah, they're fine, so I'm not replacing the plastic liner or the insert which goes in there, which is quite happy with really. But they do need degreasing. They need all the detritus, which is a posh word for saying muck, scraping off them, and then all the rust taken off with a wire brush and then painted. So let's make a start. To get these arms clean, I've put them in a big plastic box. I'm using some of this no-nonsense degreaser from Screwfix. Now the key word there is concentrate. I did not spot that when I bought it. I thought, 5 litres of it, that'll do the job. You use basically 5 capfuls to 5 litres of water. So yeah, that will last me until forever. What I've done, I've put it in a de-icer bottle and I'm just spraying it on, and I've got a combination of different brushes, but I'm just giving it a good clean with and getting the majority of the thick off. I've got that brush and I've got a steel wire brush as well, so I'm going to work my way through that. It's nasty stuff, so you got to wear goggles and got to wear gloves, and yeah, I'll bring you back in a bit when they're looking a bit cleaner. Left the arms to dry overnight, and I think they're looking better already. But my next job is going to be just cleaning them up. I've got like a soft wire brush in the pillar drill, so I can just turn the drill on and then move the piece up to that, and I think it's just easier to do. So I'll give that a good going over, and then we're ready for some paint. Those are cleaned up pretty much the best I'm going to get them. Not perfect. But now I'm going to start painting them. So I've just got some generic paint which goes on to rust, black, gloss. So I'm going to paint that on. It'll take a couple of goes to paint it because I can't get all the surfaces in one go. I'll bring you back once they're done. And that's them both painted, looking much better, much more presentable. I could have got them shot blasted and powder coated, but just decided against it just to try and pull down a bit of the cost of the project. Still got a few unknowns at the engine end, so I thought it'll be fine just using this paint and painting it all up. So right, great. Once they're dried, we can think about reassembly. With the paint dry, they look absolutely amazing. So really pleased how they look. So I'm just going to do a bit more assembly now. So I bought a kit which brings you all of the bits you need for the radius arms and rear subframe mounting, not including a can of Fanta. And I'm just going to start putting these together. So the first thing I was going to do is put the flexi brake lines on, and then I've got the new hard lines which go on there. I'm just using my parts diagram here just to remind me which bits go where. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably shape these to match the curve of the originals. I'm not going to put the backing plates on yet, so yeah, I'll have nothing for one end to connect onto. But yeah, I'll get those on. That's the brake pipes bolted on. I had a bit of a problem with them. They're supposed to be a serrated anti-vibration washer goes in there. I'll give you 4 of them. And also as well, as one's supposed to be a full nut and one's supposed to be a half nut. Anyway, no matter what combination I put them on with the washers, the nut wouldn't seal around the end of the pipe for the hard brake line. So that's the only way I could get it to work, was just 2 plain nuts and no washers. I think it'll be absolutely fine. But yeah, they're looking good. Right, next thing I want to drop in is the handbrake quadrants. And I seem to remember there's a right and a wrong way for those to go. And I was about to assemble the quadrants and I remembered I hadn't drilled out the remains of the split pin which goes in there. So I managed to drill it out a little bit and then just hammer it out with the centre punch. So I'll do that for both of them and then we can assemble. So according to my parts diagram, they go that way around. It's like the smooth bit closer to the middle of the car, the pointy bit towards the back. And they come up from below through there. So before I put them in, I'm going to absolutely put loads of copper grease on and in that hole and everywhere, because these things have a tendency to seize, and one of them was completely seized. So yeah, I've cleaned all the rust off them the best I can, fill that full of grease, and then yeah, and we're getting there. That is both hand brake quadrants in. Can't really see them there, but yeah, so they move nice and freely. And on the top we've got a washer and then a split pin. And that's the same on the other side. One thing I haven't actually done is bent the brake pipes into shape yet. So these are the old brake pipes and they're considerably shorter than the new ones. So what I'll do, I'll actually wait until I've got the backing plates on and then I'll bend those into shape. It seems to make more sense. Right, final job I want to do on these, and that's to clean up the big long shaft pin, whatever you want to call it, which runs through the middle of the radius arms, and also clean up the grease nipples on the end as well, make sure they're not clogged up. Those are the 2 shafts out the radius arms. The bottom one here is the one I've cleaned up, but it doesn't look particularly clean. It's a lot cleaner than the other one, which is all covered in dried grease and stuff. So use my magic degreaser again and my wire brush to clean them up. So there's a bit of pitting and corrosion on here, but it's fine. Say there was no play in it. But what I want to sort out now is this hole here. So the grease nipple goes on the end there, grease goes down there and comes out there. So I'm going to try and blast that all out with an air line to make sure that the grease is definitely flowing. Alright, let's go full send with the air line and see what happens. Yeah, you can see it's squirting out. Quite a bit coming out there. So, right, I think that's nice and clear. So I'll clean that up and then I'll do the same with the other one. I'm ready to refit these shafts. But before I did that, I was looking at the parts diagram again. So you have the grease nipple on the outside, nut, spring washer, flat washer, bush, flat washer, nut. Unfortunately, that kit I bought of all the subframe bits didn't actually include those, so I'm going to have to buy those separately, but I can add them on at a later date, it's not a problem. I might also treat myself to new grease nipples for the end. So before I put these in, I'm just going to give them a thin coat of grease, and yeah, we'll be done. And we're done, other than tidying up the garage. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how they worked out. Bit annoyed I don't have the fasteners to go on, but it's not critical at this stage, so they look far better than they were before. So yeah, really good. Really, I'm just killing time before I need to do some more work on this, really. I need to lift the back end up higher and clean that entire underside of the floor, paint it with a red oxide, and then cover it with U-Pol Gravitex like stone chip paint, but I just really cannot be bothered with doing that. But I'm gonna have to do it at some point, so yeah, not good. So thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video. There's loads more videos in the series, so please go and take a look at those. There's a playlist which I've put a link up to now. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.